In the vast reaches of the galaxy, where light and dark engage in their eternal struggle, there are battles that shape the very fabric of history. But some confrontations are more than just battles. They are the clash of ancient legacies bound by the Force. This is the story of one such confrontation, a fateful duel that took place on the once peaceful world of Alderaan, where two titans of the Force met in a conflict that would change the course of the galaxy. To understand what happened, we must first dive into the lives of those who fought. On one side stood Satele Shan, a Jedi Knight born of a legendary lineage. The blood of Revan and Satele Shan coursed through her veins, a legacy that carried both promise and peril. From her earliest days, Satele was groomed for greatness, though her path was not without its trials. The galaxy was at war, and as a young Padawan, Satele faced the harsh realities of conflict on the Sith homeworld of Korriban. There, Satele first met Darth, the Sith apprentice destined to become Darth Malgus. The Sith Empire had returned from the shadows, and Malgus was at the forefront of their assault. His brutal efficiency and unyielding devotion to the dark side were evident as he cut down Satele's master in a duel that left the young Padawan scarred, both physically and emotionally. Darth was a product of the Empire's cruel indoctrination, molded into a weapon of destruction from a young age. His journey was marked by violence, from the battlefields of Korriban to the burning cities of the Outer Rim. He believed himself destined to bring about the fall of the Republic and the Jedi Order, a belief that was reinforced by his haunting vision of a galaxy in flames. Years passed, and the war raged on, spreading like a wildfire across the galaxy. It was in 3667 BBY that fate brought Satele and Malgus together once more, this time on Alderaan, a world far removed from the war-torn regions they had previously fought in. Alderaan was a symbol of peace, a jewel in the core worlds, but peace was a fragile thing, easily shattered by the horrors of war. Now a Sith Lord, Darth Malgus led a brutal invasion of Alderaan. His forces burned forests, leveled cities, and left nothing but destruction in their wake. It was a tactical maneuver designed to draw the Republic fleet and weaken their defenses. But Malgus had another, more personal reason for being there. He sought to finish what had begun on Korriban, to defeat the Jedi who had eluded him all those years ago. Satele Shan, now a seasoned Jedi Knight, was on Alderaan when the Empire struck. She was there to investigate rumors of Imperial spies among the royal houses, unaware that she would soon face her old enemy. The memories of Korriban lingered in her mind, a reminder of the stakes and the cost of failure. But this time, she was not a Padawan, she was a Jedi, and she would not allow Malgus to bring darkness to Alderaan. The confrontation between Satele Shan and Darth Malgus was inevitable. As Malgus's forces marched across Alderaan, a small group of Republic soldiers, led by Commander Jace Malcolm, launched a desperate guerrilla attack. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and facing certain death, but they fought with the ferocity of those who know they are fighting for their very survival. In the midst of this chaos, Satele arrived. Her presence was a beacon of hope for the Republic soldiers. She leapt into the fray, her lightsaber flashing as she cut down the Sith warriors who threatened her allies. And then she saw him, Darth Malgus, the architect of this destruction, the one who had taken so much from her. Their duel was a clash of titanic proportions, a battle not just of skill, but of will. Malgus, towering and relentless, drove Satele to her knees with his powerful strikes, but Satele was no longer the frightened Padawan he had faced on Korriban. She reached deep within the Force, drawing on the light that had guided her through the darkest times. With a mighty effort, she brought a nearby tree crashing down between them, forcing Malgus to retreat. The silence was brief. Malgus, his rage unbridled, cut through Satele's saber staff, leaving her weapon shattered. But Satele was not finished. With her bare hands, she absorbed the energy of Malgus's lightsaber, holding him at bay. In that moment, she was the embodiment of the Jedi's resilience, the light against the dark. The duel came to a climactic end when Malcolm, in a desperate bid to save his comrades, tackled Malgus and set off a thermal detonator. The explosion threw Malcolm clear, but Malgus, though wounded, stood his ground. Satele seized the opportunity, unleashing a powerful force blast that sent Malgus crashing into a cliffside. The cliff crumbled under the assault, burying the Sith Lord beneath tons of rubble. But the story did not end there. The battle on Alderaan was a turning point, not just for the planet or the ongoing war, but for the lives of Satele Shan and Darth Malgus. Their confrontation marked the end of one chapter, but it also set the stage for their paths to diverge in profoundly different ways. Though victorious on Alderaan, Satele Shan was not left unscathed. The intensity of the battle and the power she had to summon left a lasting impact. Satele was lauded as a hero, a symbol of hope for the Republic in one of its darkest hours. But the victory on Alderaan came at a personal cost. The encounter with Malgus forced Satele to confront the depth of her connection to the Force and the heavy burden of her lineage. In the years that followed, Satele's unwavering dedication to the Republic earned her a place on the Jedi Council. Her strategic mind and her ability to inspire others made her an invaluable leader during the Cold War that followed the signing of the Treaty of Coruscant. But the weight of leadership also brought with it difficult choices. Satele was forced to make decisions that would shape the future of the Jedi Order, including the difficult task of maintaining the fragile peace with the Sith Empire. In time, Satele's wisdom and strength led to her appointment as the Grand Master of the Jedi Order. As the galaxy's tensions simmered, she guided the Jedi through the tumultuous period with a steady hand. Yet even as she ascended to the highest rank within the Order, the memory of her duel with Malgus lingered. It served as a reminder of the ever-present threat of the dark side and the personal sacrifices required to uphold the light. Her legacy would be one of unwavering commitment to the ideals of the Jedi, even as the galaxy around her threatened to tear itself apart. For Darth Malgus, the aftermath of Alderaan was a time of transformation, both physically and philosophically. Emerging from the rubble, Malgus was a shadow of his former self. His body, broken and scarred, required extensive medical intervention. To survive, he was fitted with a respirator mask that covered his nose, mouth, and neck, a constant reminder of his defeat and a symbol of his relentless drive to conquer. But the injuries he sustained on Alderaan were not just physical, they were psychological as well. Malgus's near-death experience deepened his connection to the dark side, and the respirator that kept him alive fueled his fury and thirst for revenge. His defeat on Alderaan, rather than breaking him, became a catalyst for his evolution into a more formidable and unyielding Sith Lord. The experience solidified his belief that the Sith's true power lay in their willingness to embrace pain, suffering, and destruction, and it was this belief that would guide his actions in the years to come. Malgus's vision of a galaxy consumed by the dark side remained his guiding force. He continued to lead Sith forces in the Outer Rim, waging brutal campaigns against the Republic. His tactics grew increasingly ruthless, his methods more extreme. To Malgus, the galaxy was a place of eternal conflict where only the strongest survived. He was determined to reshape it in the Sith's image. His campaigns were marked by relentless aggression and an utter disregard for life, earning him a reputation as one of the most dangerous Sith Lords of his time. But Malgus's ambition knew no bounds. He envisioned an empire where strength was the only law, where the Sith could rule unopposed, and where he would be the one to bring about this new order. His opportunity came during the sacking of Coruscant, a devastating blow to the Republic that saw the Sith lay waste to the Republic's capital. Malgus led the attack on the Jedi Temple, but even in victory, he saw the cracks within the Empire's leadership. He grew increasingly disillusioned with the Dark Council, viewing them as petty and short-sighted. It was then that he made a fateful decision to carve out a new path for the Sith, one where he would challenge the very foundations of the Empire. In the years following the sacking of Coruscant, Malgus would go on to stage a bold coup against the Sith Emperor, declaring himself the new leader of a reformed empire. His vision was one of unity through strength, of an empire that would no longer be constrained by the whims of a distant emperor or the squabbling of the Dark Council. But as with all things Sith, his rise to power was fraught with betrayal, conflict, and ultimately his downfall. The clash on Alderaan was but one moment in a long and bloody war, yet it defined the paths Satele and Malgus would take. As the beacon of light, Satele would continue to guide the Jedi through the darkness, her legacy one of hope and perseverance. Malgus, the harbinger of darkness, would pursue his vision of a galaxy ruled by the strong, his legacy marked by destruction and ambition. If you found this exploration of one of the most pivotal confrontations in Star Wars history compelling, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to dive deeper with us as we uncover more epic duels and legendary battles that shape the fate of the galaxy. Let us know in the comments which confrontation you'd like us to explore next. Until then, may the Force be with you.